Hello students. Today we are going to continue with the chapter pronoun, and remember that we were doing relative pronoun. In relative pronoun we had already done who, whose and which. Today we are going to continue with the relative pronoun. Students, the relative pronoun that we are going to do today is that. We are always using it, but remember that today we are going to study about its details. The first thing, that is used both for person as well as things. Okay, this is the first thing you remember. It is used for both. Then it is used both for singular and plural nouns. So it can be used as singular also and as plural also. And remember one more thing, that there is no possessive case of that. Let us see how do we use that for person. See the first sentence. This is the boy that I told you. So can you see that? That is referring to the antecedent or the noun, that is boy. And here boy is a person. I know the house that he lives in. Now this one is a thing, because here that is referring to house which is non-living or a thing. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Here we can see the relative pronoun that is actually used for the head. That is again something, a part of a person. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom. And again there is a that is a relative pronoun, and this that is again pointing towards man, that is a person. The crowd that gathered cheered him to the echo. So here again there is a use of that, and that is pointing towards crowd, that is group of people. So again it is used for persons. The crowd that gathered cheered him to the echo. One more we can see here, my sister. So my sister that is in Delhi sent me a present. So I have a sister, and here that is referring to my sister. So here we have understood that can be used both for person and things. Let us move on. Students, remember, relative pronoun is used in relative clauses that restrict, limit, or define the antecedent. I had told you that antecedent is a noun which precedes our relative pronoun, and this is actually used in relative clauses. Clauses you are not much aware about, but just remember these are some kind of complex sentences, and this is a part of a sentence. So see the first example, and then we can see that actually relative pronouns are used in to restrict something, or to restrict the information, to direct towards a particular information. See, that cannot be substituted by who or which. Now see here, every time we cannot substitute that by who or which. It has some particular usages. Everywhere you cannot substitute that by who, or which. See an example. Me, it's not me father, it's actually my father, that is a schoolmaster, is 50 years old. So, my father, that is a schoolmaster, is 50 years old. That is actually wrong. It should have been my father, who is a schoolmaster, is 50 years old. So, my father, who is a schoolmaster. So, it is required, it is used only in particular sense, that is used in restrictive sense. See the example here to understand. My sister that has been adopted. So this means it is not any sister but a particular sister, she has been adopted. So my sister that has been adopted by my uncle is ill. So here the restricted information has been made. So here we can use that for the sister when the information is restricted. Otherwise, we cannot use in every sense. Only in the restricted or limited or defining sense we can use that. See the other usage. That is used instead of who and which. Now remember here, where do we prefer that instead of who and which, or it is the usage of that? Where do we use that? First, we use that after adjective in superlative degree. So after the adjective we use, and that also in superlative degree. Wise, wiser, wisest. So the wisest man that ever lived made mistakes. So after the superlative degree of adjective, we have used that. So remember this and learn it. Second usage is after all. After these words we use that is after all we use, after same we use, after nothing we use, and after only we use that. Example, all that glitters is not gold. So all is a word, after that we use that. So all that glitters is not gold. We will not be using all which glitters is not gold or all who glitters is not gold. We will use all that glitters is not gold. Then second example, man is the only animal that can talk. So only is a word here which is making us use that. Man is the only animal. So only word has come, and that is why we are going to use that. After interrogative pronoun. So this is the third usage, that after interrogative pronoun also we use that. For example, what is it that troubles you so much? What is it? Why is it? So whenever there is an interrogative pronoun, after that we can use that. Okay? We have already studied interrogative pronouns. Next, remember, after two antecedents, suppose there instead of one antecedent or one noun, we have two antecedents. And among those or between those two antecedents, one is a person and other is an animal or thing. Then how do we use it? The boy and his dog. So you can see boy is a person and dog is an animal. still we are using that. So, the boy and his dog that had trespassed on the club premises were turned out. So, here again we see a limited or restricted use. The boy and his dog that had trespassed on the club premises were turned out. So, particularly something is said about them, and that is why we are using that. There are two antecedents, one is a boy, a person, and the other is an animal. Let us see what refers to things only. Okay, now we are going to study the next relative pronoun. After that, it is a very easy one, and that is what. Now remember one thing that has been given in this red box, that what is equal to that which. What means that which. And it is used in nominative and accusative only. It is not used in the other one, that is possessive or genitive use. Okay, let us continue and see the example, that what is equal to that which. Suppose there is a sentence, I say what I mean. So instead of what, you can apply I say that which I mean. So instead of that which, we can directly write I say what I mean. What is one man's meat is another man's poison. So what is good for somebody may be bad for the other. So that which is one man's meat is another man's poison. So again, what is equal to that which. So what is one man's meat is another man's poison. Another sentence has been given for understanding. What I have written, I have written. Okay. So what I have written, that means that which I have written, I have written. So I have done it. So here also, instead of that which, we can use what, or actually what means that which. So what I have written, I have written. So these are some of the usages of what. Now another thing that has been given in your book is that in Old English, the word as was also used as a relative pronoun after such. His answer was such as I expected him to give. Okay, so you just remember this one line, that with such as we are going to use, and as was also used as a relative pronoun in the older English. So this is what we have discussed for today. Next, we are going to discuss omission of the relative pronoun during our online class.